I get it, you're staring at a list of sonar transducers, trying to figure out whether you're about to spend good money on something that will actually help you find that trophy base, or if you're just swapping one piece of hardware for another that never quite lives up to the hype. The last thing you want is to install a new transducer on your boat, power it up on the lake, and discover the picture is fuzzier than a foggy morning. You're looking for that sweet spot where the tech actually translates into clearer fish finding. And you're wondering if Lowrance's ActiveTarget Live Transducer is the right fit for your setup or just another expensive piece of gear that sits in a drawer. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The ActiveTarget Live is sold as a replacement transducer only, which means you'll need a Lowrance chart plotter or sonar display that already supports the live sonar format. It promises live sonar, 3 distinct viewing modes, and a high-resolution image of what's underneath you. On paper, that sounds like a solid upgrade from older single-beam units. But the reality comes down to how those claims work when you're actually out on the water. First off, let's talk about who this piece might actually benefit. If you already own a Lowrance chart plotter that can read live sonar data, think HDS or Elite series, then the transducer is technically compatible and could give you that real-time view you've seen in marketing videos. For anglers who spend a lot of time in shallow water where the bottom structure changes quickly, having a live feed can help you adjust your lure or trolling speed on the fly. In that scenario, the 3 view modes, typically a side scan, down scan, and a traditional depth view, let you toggle between a wide area scan and a pinpoint focus without having to dive back into the menu system. That convenience can shave a few minutes off each stop, which for a competitive fisherman translates directly into more time on the water. Now, the downside is where the product rating really tells a story. With only 3 ratings and an average of 1 star, it's clear something is off. While we don't have detailed buyer comments, the low score suggests users ran into serious issues. One practical weakness that tends to pop up with replacement transducers is the calibration process. Lowrance units often require a precise mounting angle and a clean, bubble-free water path. If the transducer isn't installed perfectly flush with the hull, the high-resolution promise quickly turns into a grainy, speckled mess. For DIY installers without a professional mount kit, that can be a frustrating hurdle. Another hidden trade-off is power consumption. The live sonar technology pushes a lot of data through the system, which can drain your boat's battery faster than a classic 50 kHz unit. If you're out on a day-long trip and you haven't upgraded your battery bank, you might find the display dimming or the system rebooting before you've even had a chance to locate the first fish. That's not a flaw in the transducer itself, but it's a real-world consideration that's easy to overlook when you're only looking at specs. From a value perspective, the fact that this is a transducer-only item means you're not paying for a whole new sonar package, which is good if you already have a compatible display. However, the price point for a single transducer can still be steep, often comparable to the cost of a full system from another brand that includes a more proven, perhaps older generation, single-beam transducer. If you're on a tight budget, you might get more consistent results from a tried-and-true 200 kHz unit that doesn't promise live streaming but delivers reliable depth readings day in and day out. So who should buy it? If you're a tech-savvy angler who already runs a Lowrance HDS or Elite unit, you're comfortable with precise mounting, and you have the battery capacity to handle a data-heavy transducer, the ActiveTarget Live could be a worthwhile upgrade. It shines when you're actively scanning shallow structures like weed beds or rock piles where the 3 view modes let you quickly spot a school of fish and then zoom in for detail. It also works well for kayakers or small boat anglers who rely on a lightweight setup but still want a modern sonar picture. Who should skip it? If you're using a basic Lowrance display that doesn't support live sonar, if you're unsure about doing a perfect transducer mount yourself, or if you're planning long days on the water without a robust power backup, this replacement is probably more hassle than it's worth. The low rating hints that even users with the right hardware have run into problems, which often stem from the same installation or power issues mentioned earlier. In those cases, a conventional single-beam or dual-frequency transducer from a different brand may give you a steadier, more dependable readout. Let's walk through a practical scenario. Imagine you're on a midsummer afternoon on a 12-foot bass boat, cruising a series of submerged points where you've historically had good catches.